So I'm 18 years old, and I've only been on one date in my life. Now, I don't know if that's a lot to you guys, but I feel like it's just not a lot for people my age. Like I feel like people my age, they do a lot of like dating and stuff. And I mean, I've hung out with girls before, but I wouldn't really call them dates. I just feel like there's a lot of things that I haven't done that most people my age have. Like, I don't smoke or drink or any of that. I really just never been interested in that stuff. And I'm honestly just not a big partier. But this story takes place when I was around 17. It was my junior year of high school, so it was like a year and a half ago. And I actually met this girl who I'll call her blonde because she had blonde hair. And I met her while I was working at my part-time job. I actually didn't see her at first, but she came up to me when I was on my break and she said she saw me and she thought I was cute and she asked for my number. And I'm not gonna lie, I think this was probably the first and only time a girl's ever asked for my number like in person. So I was a little shocked, like I didn't really know how to react or what to say, but I collected myself, try to act cool, and I pretty much just said yeah, and I gave it to her. So once she left, we started texting, and we just kind of started texting like the whole night, getting to know each other. And I mean, yeah, over a while, we knew each other pretty well. And she eventually asked me if I wanted to call her. And dude, I was super nervous because I'd never really just like call girls. Like I don't know, I'm telling you, like I didn't talk to girls like for the longest time. And at first, like when we started calling, it was really awkward. I didn't know what to say. Like I was just talking about like school and stuff, like literally whatever I could. I feel like whenever I meet someone new, I just kind of have a hard time keeping the convo going. But I mean, I think I'm definitely getting better at that now. Like I've been trying to practice speaking to people. Like I'm taking this one college class right now. It's public speaking, and the teacher just kind of makes us talk to people like a lot and talk in front of the class. So I do think I've gotten a lot better at just talking to people in general. But anyways, we were basically just calling each other like every other night, and we really were getting comfortable with each other and getting to know each other. And honestly, seemed like she really liked me. Like I was into her, I think she was into me. And eventually, this girl asked me if I wanted to hang out with her like in person. And this is the point where I got like super nervous because previous to this, like I don't think I've ever been with or hung out with a girl one on one like in public. And I was just honestly, I was afraid that I would mess it up or just like be super quiet and awkward and like she wouldn't like want to hang out with me anymore. But I just wound up asking her, when she was available, when she wanted to hang out pretty much. And I think we agreed to hang out on a Saturday. I think it was a Saturday. So yeah, we made a whole plan, had a whole day plan. And we wound up meeting at this place that she likes to go to. I personally had never been there before, but I guess they make like these like fruit bowl things. I forgot what they're called. They have like a weird name. But yeah, I'd never had them before. But she seemed to be like really excited about them, really liked them. So I was like, all right, yeah, let's go there. And dude, so I'm not even kidding. Like I got there before her. And I guess she didn't have her license at this time, so she got dropped off. And I was sitting in my car waiting, and I just see her get dropped off and start walking inside. And that's when I just got so nervous, dude. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, it took me so much courage to even get out of my car. Like, I was so nervous. I was thinking about just, like, genuinely going home. But I was like, I can't do that. I can't just leave her here. So eventually I do get out of my car, and I start walking towards the door. And dude, when I tell you I was nervous, dude. But eventually, I get to the door, I open it up, and I see her at the counter getting her food. So I just start walking up to her, and she notices me, and she's like, hi, we say hi to each other. And I realized that she paid for her food, which, I mean, I was going to do that because I guess that's just kind of how it goes on dates. So, like, guys pay. But anyway, yeah, I just try to make conversation with her. I really just want to make it as little awkward as possible because I didn't want to mess up. So I asked her, like what's good here, like what should I get to eat and that kind of stuff. So she gave me some suggestions and eventually I go order while she gets a table. And once my food comes, we eventually just sit down and start talking. You know, it was definitely awkward, but I think I handled it a lot better than I thought I would. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie, I wasn't even a huge fan of the food that we were eating, but you know, I didn't want to tell her that because she really liked it. I didn't want to waste it and like make her feel bad or whatever. Even though you know I paid for my own, but I just ate the whole thing, dude. I ate the whole thing because I didn't want to like I don't make her feel bad for whatever reason. And yeah, she actually didn't finish hers. So at that point, I was like, oh wow, I guess it really didn't matter. But after we finished eating, we got in my car because you know she didn't have a car or anything, and we wound up driving to the mall. And the mall was like weirdly dead, and it was weird because it was a Saturday, so I figured like it'd be really busy, but no, it was just like super dead, which gave me like a weird feeling. Like I don't know, I hate when there's like nobody at the mall, like because it feels like a place that should just be super busy. But like I don't know, it gave me like creepy vibes. But anyways, she wanted to go to this arcade in the mall, and we just did that for like about an hour. I did pay for that, and I'm not gonna lie, I don't know, I'm not a big like arcade guy, honestly. I don't know, but you know we had fun. It was fun hanging out together. And after that, we just kind of wound up walking around the mall and talking to each other, and it really wasn't that awkward. Like we were having a pretty good time. It felt pretty natural talking to her. And you know, eventually we did get bored of that because you know, like after you're in the mall for like a long time, it just feels like weird and gross in there. I don't know if you guys feel that, but yeah. So we leave the mall and we hop in my car. And at this point, we didn't have like planned to do anything else. So we were like, all right, we still want to do something. So we started driving around the town, and then we remember there's a mini golf place like right near us. So we're like, all right, yeah, let's go do that. Why not? And I'm not gonna lie, I actually really like mini golf. I consider myself a pretty good mini golfer. Like whenever I play with my friends, I think I always win, and I almost always win by like a lot. Like I don't know, it's usually not close. But for some like weird reason, when I played with this girl, I played terribly, dude. Like I was just off my game. I don't know if like I was nervous because I was like, you know, on a date for the first time. But like, I'm pretty sure I lost to her. But I don't know, like it's just surprising to me. But it seemed like she had a lot of fun. So, you know, it was whatever. I just kind of acted like I let her win. But I think I genuinely got beat by her. Oh yeah, also like the mini golf course was also dead, just like the mall. It was super weird. Like that whole day, like everything was just like it was like an apocalypse. Like everyone was just gone. So after we finished mini golfing, we both decided like we were ready to go home. We were ready to part ways for the day, and she needed a ride home since you know she got dropped off. She didn't have her license, and she lived like 30 minutes away from me because we were both in high school at this time, but we went to different high schools. So, you know, we lived in like different districts and they were pretty far away. But yeah, so I start driving her home. Finally arrived to her house and I drop her off, you know, we say bye. And then I just start heading home, you know? And I think at the time I felt pretty good about it. You know, I was just pumped that like I went on a date, I guess, and it seemed to have gone well. And you know, I was in a good mood. It was a solid mood. So, I eventually get home. And she texts me and she's like, yeah, I had a really fun time today. And at this point I'm thinking, oh wow. I mean, I had fun too. Like, is this gonna get like are we gonna start doing this more? Like, I don't know. In my head, I'm like, I don't know. I'd never had like a girlfriend before, and I was like, are we about to start dating? Like, what happens next? Like, all these questions were running through my mind. I didn't know. I didn't know what to do. We just continued to talk and call each other for a while. And then one day I was at the gym, just finishing up a workout, and I get a text from her. And she said that she was at her friend's house, which is actually really close to the gym that I was at the time. And she was like begging me to come over. And it was weird. Like, I'm not going to lie, I didn't really want to go. One, because, you know, I was just working out and I was a little tired, maybe a little gross from the workout. But two, because I really didn't want to hang out with like her and her friend. I'd rather just hang out with like her one-on-one. And I didn't want to go to like her friend's house. I don't know. And it was just like super weird how she was like practically begging me to go. Like she was not taking no for an answer. It was so weird. But eventually I decide that I'd pop in for a little bit. And yeah, so after I was done working out, I headed over there. And when I arrive, I'm brought into like this weird little like room that was like behind the garage. And they were just hanging out in there. It was like a small little room with like a couch and a TV. It was kind of odd. But yeah, so Blonde, you know, the girl I was talking to, she was sitting on this couch in there, and I was like, all right. So I sit next to her, but it wasn't like super close. Like we were pretty much just on opposite ends of the couch, honestly. But like I did that because I didn't want to make her uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want to like sit right next to her, and yeah. But dude, when I tell you, this was probably the most like awkward thing I've ever endured in my life. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was just so weird with like her friend being there, and I just didn't know what to say or do. Like it was just so awkward. Like I was literally sitting on a couch in a house I've never been in with one person I kind of know well, and then one I just don't know at all. The worst part is, dude, like this girl's friend is genuinely one of the most annoying girls I've ever met in my life. Like I don't know, like she was just super annoying. Like I couldn't believe that the blonde girl was like, she was friends with her, because like they were just two different personalities. But like, I guess they say opposites attract. I don't know. And even Blonde, she seemed like a different person when her friend was around. And you know, I knew how to get out of there. I was so uncomfortable. So I basically told her that I had to go pick up dinner for my family, which technically it wasn't a lie, because I did eventually have to pick up dinner later that night for my family, but I just kind of said I had to do it like right now. I gotta go. And she seemed a little upset that I was leaving, even though like that whole like hour that I was there was just super awkward. But you know, I get out of there, and we didn't really text for the rest of the day because I just didn't even know what to say after that. And that was until that night. So she eventually texted me and she was like, "You seemed really awkward today. Was something wrong?" Was something wrong, dude? Like, I just spent an uncomfortable amount of time in a small room that I've never been with this super annoying girl. But obviously I didn't say that. I just went up saying something like, yeah, it was a little awkward with your friend there, I guess. So yeah, everything after that, it was just chill. We just continued to talk. And, you know, she understood. But, I don't know. Something felt like a little off, though, after a while. Like we were fine, but like it felt like something was missing. This whole like relationship wasn't going anywhere. Like we didn't even start dating yet, but like we were just talking for a while. And sure enough, I got a text one night, and it was basically just her telling me she wanted to stay friends, and she didn't mean to lead me on. Now I'm not gonna lie, I kind of saw it coming, and I was a little hurt at first. You know, maybe a little sad. But to be honest, I was also just kind of feeling the same way, like in the back of my mind. But the thing I hate is when girls say stuff like they didn't mean to lead you on, and they act like they didn't know what they were doing to you. Because I feel like a lot of guys get attached to girls easily, and then they just get friend zoned out of the blue, and they just wasted a lot of time talking to someone they thought they were gonna date, but the girl never like had any intention of dating them. But I am glad to say, you know, I never cried over this girl. I did think about her every now and then, but I was able to get over the whole thing pretty easily. She told me she wanted to remain friends and continue talking to me, and I was just like, no, you know what, I don't want to do that. You know, it felt like a waste of time, and I'd rather focus on myself. And long story short, she winds up blocking me. So I knew I made the right decision, honestly, because like, you know, she blocked me for saying like I wanted to focus on myself. So it's like, yeah, I knew like it just wasn't gonna work out, you know. And I just want to close this this story by saying that if anything like this has ever happened to you or ever happens to you, it's okay to feel sad, but you need to know that you're worth so much more than what others think of you. And I genuinely think focusing on yourself is the best thing you can do for yourself. Like, to this day, I still have yet to have a girlfriend or even my first kiss. But I'm fine with that because I've been working on myself a lot lately and just really improving myself. And I know one day, you know, the right girl will show up in my life. And I guess if there's one thing I want you guys to take away from this, it's that You shouldn't waste your time being sad over someone who doesn't truly value you, and instead just work on yourself and value yourself. Trust me, you'll thank me later. And yeah, thanks for listening, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Peace.